Good morning, everybody, and welcome to our Saturday morning DNA webinar. To start off with, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me. So if somebody can just type yes in the box there. Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to our first webinar of the year. There is a bit of exciting news that we have. I've got somebody saying they can't hear anything, but everybody else says they can. So if you can't hear Barbara Raggio, you might want to look at your computer and unmute it because everybody else can hear me. So it looks like we're good. Okay, great. Again, Happy New Year. And a couple of things I want to mention first. You know, this is the time of year, of course, where everyone makes resolutions, whether it's losing weight, or trying to make more money, or maybe it's a complete lifestyle change or business change, whatever it may be. It's been a week now since, the first of the year, and just about a week. And so it's not about the resolution you make. You got to break it down, what you're doing every day. And we all know it takes 21 days to form a habit. And the way I've always dealt with my own personal, successes or milestones or things I accomplished, because I was a very quiet, shy, introverted person. I was bullied as a kid. It's in my book. If any of you want to read my book on Amazon, I'm not trying to plug the book, but it's there, My Friend Dave. But, I did have a rough childhood, and I never saw myself as a leader. And so I was very fortunate that when I got around some other people that were leaders, that mentored me, that I could look up to, I learned when it came down to setting goals and making accomplishments or milestones, it always came down to developing a habit, and that habit has to be broken down into every single day. So it's not just the resolution you make; it's what are you going to do to accomplish it, and break it down every single day. So that way you're reminded every day, and after 21 days, it does become a habit. So now with DittoTalk, it could be you're going to make sure you do at least one DittoTalk every day with somebody. So by the end of 21 days, all of a sudden it's in your mind every day, hey, I need to do a DittoTalk. And by the end of 21 days, you probably won't even need to use the script. You'll have it memorized. So you'll just use the graphics and put your personality into it and get the point across. So, that's the advantage of creating, that setting your goal, breaking it down by day, making it a lifestyle change. At the end of 21 days, it just becomes part of your lifestyle. You do it every day. Then you start seeing your own personal growth with that one personal resolution you made, or that one personal goal you made. You'll start seeing the change. But not very many people get to that point, you see, where once you start seeing change, then you get excited. And that applies to anything. I was just sitting here right now before the webinar playing my guitar. I'm writing a new song. And as I was playing it, I'm thinking, this is a skill that took me time to develop. And it wasn't sitting down and playing the guitar, 1 or 2 days and picking it up the next month and playing it for 2 days. It was playing it every single day. In fact, there's a funny story in my book. When I was, really getting into guitar, when I was playing, making money playing guitar and singing, I was up till 3 a.m. one night playing Leader of the Band. It's a Dan Fogelberg song. And I remember my telephone ringing because I was living in a basement, and the people upstairs rang me and said, could the leader of the band please take a break for the rest of the night? But that's how I was. So whenever I decided I wanted to do something, I got real passionate about it. And that's the other thing, you guys. You set your goals, and sometimes we look at these things and you might see it as pain, and Tony Robbins, if you go back to the very early days, when he first started his career in speaking, he always talked about pain and pleasure. That's how we equate things. And a lot of times we'll look at things like, let's take losing weight. Those of us that may have set goals to lose weight, I'm trying to gain weight, actually. I want to gain 10 pounds. That's my goal, for this year, is to put on 10 pounds of muscle. But whatever that may be, you have to equate it to pleasure. You got to say, okay, I'm going to get passionate about this. And then when you get passionate, in fact, I've even gotten almost borderline fanatical about things sometimes. And one of those things was when I joined For Life, I made sure I was at my post every day. And when Jeff Outgilbers got started in the business, he would always, call me up. They've already gone out there and built their business, and they've got that level of confidence. It's already their lifestyle. So, and they pull up in a Maserati, or if you're Juan Rosado, you pull up in a McLaren, or his Tesla. Just the lifestyle they live alone attracts people. So they've already gone through that change, you see. So the journey that we've all been on to get, to gold or platinum or whatever goal you may have that you're trying to get to, the journey is what's going to create the change. Once you arrive there, you're going to find that the business is so darn simple. I even want to say easy sometimes, because for me, to be honest with you, recruiting is an easy thing to do. But I don't go out and do personal recruiting myself necessarily, because I'm not a good sponsor today. What does that mean? If I bring somebody in the business personally, I take it very as a responsibility. It's my responsibility to mentor and train and work with that person one-on-one. And I don't have time to do that anymore one-on-one. So now what I'm doing is I'm working groups, I'm working pockets, traveling around. In fact, if you want to see the calendar, go to the DNA, Go for DNA website. In fact, just for fun, I'm going to take us there right now. Corey's going to send out a poll. And this poll is basically, we're going to be playing with polls. We're going to start doing a bunch of new things. We're even going to have some fun questions during these webinars, where we'll send out the question. You'll all answer it, those of you that are on the webinar. And whoever answers correct, then we'll do a little drawing, and there will be a prize. Somebody will win something just because you were on the webinar live, you answered the poll, or you won the question and you won the drawing. So this particular poll is going to be, how many of you have registered on the Go for DNA website? I'm curious to see if you have or not, what percentage have registered. But I'm going to share my screen with you here real quick, and just show you real fast. There is, as you can see right now, the DNA website calendar. It's going to start filling up more and more, but Gabby and I leave on the 10th of January, and we'll be heading over to Asia, and we'll be hitting 4 countries: Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Manila. And so Tony, Tony Curcio, your wife, if she has some contacts over there, we have a big event on the 21st. He'll add that in there. I don't see it there on the 21st, but Corey will add that today. But you can see the 16th, the 17th, the 24th, we're in Indonesia. So, if you want to start seeing where, I'm going to be traveling, or those that are going to be doing specific events that have to do with DittoTalk, or, For Life Opportunity or trainings, they'll be on this calendar. Specifically, my calendar for sure will be here, and you'll know where I'll be. Now, I come back from Asia. I'll be in Kenya. I'll be doing an event in Kenya. That will be the 5th of February. I come back from Kenya. I'm home for only 2 days, and Gabby and I leave for Colombia. We'll be doing an event in Bucaramanga, Colombia. We'll be staying in Bogota, and I've already had some people reach out and say they have some contacts in Bogota. So here's the point I'm trying to make, you guys. And I want it to be as efficient as possible. In the past, I've jumped all over the world working with specific teams, and I don't necessarily want to do that anymore. I want to work for everybody. I want everybody to know where I'm at. If I'm in a particular area and a specific team, like when I'm in Singapore, Sherry, Dan, and Winter's team with Sadiq and all of them, I'll be doing a special event for them, on one particular day. So I do that as I go out and do, For Life meetings in the For Life offices. You'll see that these events, by the way, they're all in the For Life offices or their For Life venues. So these are not just DNA trainings. This is a For Life event that I will be doing in these 4 countries. So if you have anybody, please, get the information and invite them. If you want me to personally, reach out to me, and I'll be more than happy to support you in doing that. So while we're doing screen sharing here, I want to bring you up to speed on this. You know that when you go to DittoTalk now, you have the observe side and the present side. So it's very simple. You just go to Be Better, as you can see here in my URL right there. It says bebetter123.com. And then you would click on Present, and you would put your email in, whatever email you purchased your DittoTalk or you registered with. Mine is dave@daveforlife.com. This is my demo DittoTalk. Whoops. And you'll notice now, the way it appears, that if you were to select somebody and do a presentation, you now see the various presentations. You got ProTF English, ProTF Spanish, which are limited, because ProTF's not in all countries. Transfer Factor English, Transfer Factor Spanish. These 2 presentations, the English one for sure will be going live this week. We wanted to try to have it by today, but we're waiting. I talked to Jeff Callanan at For Life yesterday. We're still waiting for the tokens for the various packs. So if somebody selects a 2-pack, 5-pack, whatever they select, you have to have the packs there, and the pictures that go along with the packs are being taken on Monday morning. So I anticipate that Tuesday or Wednesday of this coming week, you will be able to go select Transfer Factor English, select the USA. The USA will be done. Following up next week, we will have the 4 Asia countries that I'm traveling to, and New Zealand and Australia will be done this coming week. For Life committed to having that done so that I have those ready for the trainings I'm doing in the 4 Asia countries. So you're going to start seeing these presentations, populate more countries. But you'll select the type of presentation you're giving first, then the country you're presenting to. What's great about it, again, is that you're presenting to someone, they make a purchase, it's seamless. It's like, a 2-click process to sign up and make a purchase. And I know Barry Blake, he's got somebody in New Zealand that's done I think 37 or so DittoTalk presentations in the last couple of weeks, and is actually a very high percentage of people that have committed to buying product and signing up. So, we know it's working, and we're going to start looking at analytics now as we get these presentations, as more and more roll out for the countries and the Transfer Factor Plus, and we'll be able to see, how many people are actually signing up, how many people are making purchases and so forth, what area they're focused on the most. So the analytics will be really good for us. Okay, so I'm going to get out of this here, and now I want to talk about lead pages. So I'm going to stop my screen sharing here. Okay, I believe it stopped. Corey, there's no screen sharing, right? Okay. All right, so now what I want to talk about is your lead pages. I'm going to play for you in just a minute here a video. And what I want y'all to understand is that lead pages is designed for you personally to expose it to people. How you expose it is up to you. We all know there's many, social media outlets now. You could put it up, create your own little website if you wanted to, and drive people to it, to your page. Put it on Facebook, however you want to drive people to it. But this is the lead pages is not going to, go out to people by itself. You have got to get people to it. You've got to put it out there. But what I'd want to do now is show you a video in just a second. And this is what people will see on your lead page, this particular video. Then there will be a questionnaire. All right. The questionnaire, I'm going to be sending that out in an email to the people that are participating the most in the webinars, so that you can look at the questionnaire and view it. And there's quite a number of questions there. The whole purpose of this is to offer the individual that's watched the video, and when they hear the voice, and you'll recognize the voice right away, when this individual is giving them an offer where for $150 for free, they can take this questionnaire and learn about their own personality profile and how they themselves would do in the 21st century as a business person. In other words, are they able to adapt to change and embrace it, or are they going to resist it and fight it? And so this helps us as well. So we know about this individual when they take this questionnaire to learn about themselves. If I was on, let's see, Michael's lead page, and I went ahead and took the questionnaire, I will have to have put my information in the fields in order to take that questionnaire. Michael will receive an email saying, Dave Daughtrey just took the questionnaire. He comes across as a blank. Maybe I'm going to be come across as, I'm trying to think of one of the, Corey, help me, what's one? An enterpriser. There you go, an enterpriser. That's one of the personality types. So you'll know that, and you'll know about that because there's a booklet as well that you'll all receive, as will the individual who did the questionnaire on the lead page. That's what they're getting for free. The questionnaire with a little booklet explaining about each profile and how it pertains to this new millennium we live in the age of communication, information, and rapid change, and their ability to adapt to that. So they're going to get all that for free. What you're going to get is their information to reach out to them and extend an opportunity for a DittoTalk. So that's where it goes from lead page to DittoTalk. So let's go ahead and watch the video. Corey, do I need to do it?
No, I got it.
To a vibrant explosion of color that the world marvels at. Inevitably, it could.
Sure, so I'm turning. Yeah. Shut off right now. No, that's it. We're good.
What are you doing that?
It's just echoing because the computers are too close. They can't hear it on their end, but we hear it on ours.
Are you muted on yours?
No, mine's not excited the music volume. So we're good, but mine's going to go back to shutting up, and then it's going to go right back to it. It's going to go back in. So in like 7 seconds. Go ahead.
Okay, everybody. So I'm curious to know, I see Barbara Raggio put in the text, lost you. Were you all able to see that video? If somebody could put in the text for me, please, and let me know. Okay. Well, Luis Salazar put awesome. Michael put wow. Okay, great. So you all heard the video, and I'm sure you recognize the voice. So awesome. Okay. So that is going to be your lead page. They will answer the questionnaire for free. You will receive an email saying that this individual has answered the questionnaire. Here's their personality profile. It's then your responsibility to reach out to that person and give them a DittoTalk and welcome them, to a webinar like this. And what I want to start doing, as more and more people come on that are prospects, new prospects, we'll be getting into, doing some DittoTalk, more focused on the new people with DittoTalk, because as I look at those of you that have been on these webinars, most of you are already familiar with a DittoTalk and you're kind of just getting started with it. So, but the lead pages, that should be available, just so you know. As you saw, the video's done, the questionnaire is done. We're just waiting for the booklet to be finalized, and then Corey is finishing up the interworkings, the IT side of it, so that once you all have your lead page, you will get the autoresponders and so forth when people do go in and fill out the questionnaire. So we're hoping to have that done within the next, I want to say 2 weeks for sure, but we're really shooting for next week. So on next week's webinar, the announcement would be the lead page is ready to go. So there you go. Back to our resolutions and what we're doing this year. You guys, the main thing is stay involved. Here's a few things I've learned. Involvement creates commitment. And Jim Rohn, he would say that all the time. And I applaud you for being on the webinar here this morning when you could be out doing something else on your Saturday. It shows your commitment, your level of commitment. And hopefully not only are you committed, but now it's the beginning of the year where resolutions are set. What I did is I made a declaration. This goes back to the year 1999 with me in For Life when I was getting started and I was so broke. And the joke that I had at the time, and it really wasn't a joke, but I tried to, have some sort of sense of humor, was that I was so broke I couldn't even pay attention. And it was that bad. My brain, was spinning in circles trying to figure out how I was going to survive. And it's tough when you're in crisis mode because you can't really stay focused. But I was able to do it. And when For Life came along, I stayed focused. And during that year of 1999, I have to say that I personally didn't even see a whole lot of daylight. I locked myself in an apartment and just spent all my time on the phone talking to people and establishing friendships and relationships over the phone. And many of those I still have today. And some I'd be on this call right here, this webinar, like Barry Blake. Barry's been involved in developing the DittoTalk, the script. And Barry was one that I met in 1999 over the telephone. And he was in New Zealand. So that's the one thing about the phone, you guys. It has no boundaries. And so why is it that New Zealand was the very first country For Life opened? Was because that's where the leadership popped up first. Over the telephone, I met Barry. And then in the year 2000, I met Herminio Nevades over the telephone. And that led me to Puerto Rico. And during that time, I met Sherry Din. And that's an interesting story. Linda Emerson is probably on the call right now on this webinar. Linda, she knew Sherry from a previous network marketing company. And Linda had signed up in For Life underneath Jeff Altgilbers. And I was preparing to go do a trip at the time for another individual over in New Zealand. And I was asked to make a stop in Singapore. And I'll never forget that Linda and Jeff said, do not lose Sherry. You get Sherry. And I remember sitting down with her at the Intercontinental Hotel and talking. And I remember her talking to me. And then that night, she was still unsure as to what she was going to do. And she kept me up till 3 a.m. eating chicken saute dipped in peanut butter sauce, talking all night. And she kept going in circles and couldn't make up her mind. And I just sat there and looked at her. And finally, she said, okay, let's do it. And end of story. You all know she's platinum now, and her brother's a platinum under her. Her other brother's a gold under her. So she turned it into a huge family business. I'm sharing these stories with you because every single person I just mentioned, Jeff Altgilbers, Linda Emerson, Herminio Nevades, we all had a beginning point, and we have a point where we are now. I don't want to say ending point because we've not people right now. It's the case that some that are on this call. You might say, well, my sponsor kind of disappeared on me. Well, there's always someone upline somewhere where you can connect with, whether, like here with me on a webinar that we're doing, or, whether opportunity meetings, my traveling schedule, I'm out to try to support you. Maybe, INT, maybe there's some events going on, they can support you. Maybe Jeff Gilbers, he's out doing events someplace, he can support you. There's always somebody upline somewhere. And that's the one thing I have to say I'm very proud of with For Life, is to date, even after 18 years, you're going to find Ray Muir doing conference calls. He's my upline. He's a third level to the company. He's still doing conference calls. You've got, Jeff Gilbers, Platinum International Diamond, out traveling, out doing, seminars and webinars and conference calls, and INT, of course, doing the same. 18 years, and we're still going strong, building as if we just started today. So here we are. It's a new year. You've all set new resolutions. Break those down per day. I would encourage you to count your DittoTalks. How many of you are doing, how many DittoTalks? In fact, Corey, go ahead and send another poll out real quick before we finish the call here today. He's going to send another poll out to you guys just for fun. I want to get percentages to see on this particular question he'll send out to you. And so break it down per day, what you're going to do, set your goals, and work on yourself as well. And what I mean by that is, what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses? Some people, and in fact, a lot of people, the weakness is approaching someone. Turn that into a strength. Put in your mind that, okay, today I'm going to shake someone's hand and introduce myself to somebody brand new. And I promise you, you do that a few times, it gets very easy. It's simple, and it really is easy too. And pretty soon it becomes a habit. And I find myself all the time, if I'm out someplace or whatever, I just put my hand out sometimes and just say, "Hi, my name's Dave." And then they tell me their name, And so it's just a natural thing. Network marketing, you guys, is about making friends. And now it's really about building a family, because you look at the For Life culture, it's very much as a family culture there. And that's one of the things I love about For Life. But you're making friends, you're building a team, building a family, and like-minded people that want to move the direction that we're moving. They want to be part of something, be part of a movement, participate in health and wellness and financial freedom with some of the best products on the planet that we have at For Life Research. So we've got the goods. The people are out there. So this is the year of momentum. A lot of people are talking about it, and I do feel that this year you're going to see the beginning of the For Life momentum globally start to kick in. And that's why you're seeing a lot of platinums hitting the road, going out and doing trainings and so forth. So, get excited, stay excited, keep your vision, set your goals, break them down each day, use DittoTalk to present, if you're not using DittoTalk, you can still, the presentation, so the bullet points, share with people, but just make sure you're engaged in your business on a regular basis, daily basis, and make it a lifestyle. Network marketing is a lifestyle. I honestly don't know personally anybody that has established real financial freedom working the business. When I say part-time, don't get me wrong, I'm talking sometime. I see people jump in and they work it for maybe a week or two or three, and then out of sight, out of mind. You can do it part-time if you're consistent and you make it a lifestyle, a part-time lifestyle. So that way you're on your business regularly, even though it's part-time, and eventually turn it into full-time. All right. But the goal is to do it full-time as soon as you can. Why? Because you're developing a residual income, and so if you can develop, a six-figure annual residual income and do that over the next 3, 5, even 7 years, what a great accomplishment. And you can certainly do it. I mean, many, many, many people are doing it. So again, congratulations to all of you, for being on the call. I thank you and welcome to the new year. Let's move forward. Let's have fun. Lead pages, hopefully we'll have for you next week. And keep an eye open as well for the U.S. Transfer Factor Plus DittoTalk presentation. I think you'll enjoy the videos in that as well. That should be live and up and running hopefully by Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. We'll talk to you all real soon. Thank you again. Have a great weekend this weekend. And again, Ditto Talk, share with people, make it a lifestyle. Have fun doing it. And we'll talk to you all next week, everybody. Thank you for joining in today. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Bye-bye. Now the call has ended.